I chose the Mount because, honest to God, I woke up during the night and I had divine intervention. I was a freshman at the University of North Carolina. I was on a full basketball scholarship, and I wanted to go there to play basketball and to go to Duke for their School of Divinity. And my coach told me in second semester that I could not go to Duke because I needed to just go into phys ed and be a phys ed major. And I had no desire to be phys ed. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And I went to sleep one night and I woke up with Mount St. Mary's on my mind. I called my mother. I told her, Mom, do you know anything about Mount St. Mary's in Maryland, I think? She said, it's all boys. And I said, it's all boys? She said, yeah. I said, oh no. I said, I think I want to go there. And she said, well, let me call Father Hart and see. And we found that they had started to accept girls, and that's what made me go there. Divine intervention. And that's a fact. Some of my best memories of Mount St. Mary's were, you know, I guess the very first one I have to say was picking up my husband, who was hitchhiking. And it was Old Thurmont Road, and I picked him up. And of course, today we would tell all of our children to never do that. But it was a different time and a different era back then. He's really provided me with 5 beautiful children, and so that was really a wonderful thing for me. But also, I mean, I remember tremendous, tremendous times with Father Delaney, Jim Delaney. I met him. He was the first person I met when I arrived at the Mounts campus, and he welcomed me with open arms, you know, playing on the team, obviously, with Lynn Fallon and Sue Janowick and Michelle Cochran and Margaret Diaz. And they're, to this day, you know, dear friends of mine, dear, dear, dear friends. A.J. De Laurentiis was our manager. Freddie Carter was heart and soul. The reason I'm coaching today is because of Freddie Carter. There's not a doubt in my mind, and he's another Mountie. And so I just have tremendous memories. I guess the fondest, though, is of Chris Smith, Dr. Chris Smith. He really influenced my life, and he challenged me, and he is a big, big reason for where I am today. Mount St. Mary's helped me to develop into the person I am because it believes in community, it believes in fellowship, and it believes in Christianity. And I think my whole life, that's really what I represent. I definitely knew I needed to go to a school with a community. And that's what I found in the Mount. I truly wish one of my children would have gone to the Mount. Unfortunately, they did not. But I would be Mount St. Mary's #1 spokesperson for education, for fellowship, and for Christian values. Title IX absolutely has helped women over the last 40 years. For example, when I graduated from high school, I had to go to France. And I played basketball when I was 17 years old in a town called Sens, and I played for Entente Saint-Onez before I went to college because I could not afford to go to college. I have 3 daughters, and 2 of my daughters are playing on full scholarship for basketball, and so right there, I think that's proof in the pudding. You know what, coaching is my passion. I believe that, I guess, coaching is, you know, my main role is I'm an educator. And I hope that I can influence the women, the student athletes on and off the court the way Father Delaney and Freddie Carter and my high school coach Bert Nolan influenced me. I would give to all women out there and all females the same message I give to my 3 daughters, and that is reach for the stars, and you know, you never know what you'll grab. I believe I had a mom that really pushed me and told me to never settle. And I think that, you know, all things are possible through the belief in the Lord, but as well as through belief in yourself. And for me, you know, I look at myself and I can honestly say, you know, basketball has given me everything I have with the exception of my husband and 5 kids. I have the great opportunity to work at a wonderful institution, the University of Pittsburgh. I've had other great opportunities in employment, but I also, you know, because of coaching, I was able to go visit our troops for 14 days into Afghanistan and Kuwait and Qatar. And I was the first women's basketball coach to ever do that. And I just feel like so many opportunities have been bestowed upon me. I was co-chair of the Race for the Cure. I was chair for the Race for the Cure. I work with all different foundations, and I think that through coaching, you know, even though most people think it's X's and O's, it's so much more than X's and O's. It's really about your passion. So girls, whatever it is you want, women, whatever it is you want, you know what? Don't stop until you get it. Of course they do. I mean, I think about how much money I paid them out, and now I'm getting paid by Pittsburgh, so paybacks. No, I'm just kidding. And I still write a check out to them out, and I encourage other women to also write checks out. Any former student athletes, you know, we have an obligation to give back to our community. But absolutely, I mean, you know, Lynn Fallon, she has done a marvelous job as the athletic director, you know, of Mount St. Mary's, and Tom Powell, President Powell. I was on the board of trustees for 8 years, and I can just tell you that the Mount is my heart and my soul. Like, the Mount is my community. The Mount is who I I am. Unfortunately tonight, I am on a different team, and that's just life. And I think that, you know, I want Pitt to win tonight, but every other game in the season, I want Mount St. Mary's to win. And you can ask anyone that I talk to. That is the truth. And I think that you have to be able to separate things. You know, I've played my daughter in the past. She plays in college, and I've played her. And I can remember screaming and yelling when she took baseline on us, but I didn't realize it was her. And then when she turned and she scored on a reverse layup, I was like a crazy lady, like, yes, Claire, yes. But right away, I started screaming at my kid for giving up a baseline layup because, again, it's just business. And so tonight's strictly business, and the Mount to me is anything but business.
And so just on Sunday.
I think it's awesome. I think that, you know, I'm really, really happy for Coach, and I'm happy for the ladies, and I'm happy for the Mount. You know, I think that today anybody can win on any given day. I think that the women are getting better and better, and, you know, there's a lot of parity in women's basketball. I think that, you know, the first 5 teams probably are in a, well, the first 1 team's in a class by itself maybe, and then the first 5 teams are in a class by themselves, and then I think it's probably the next 20. And after that, I truly believe from 30 through 352, we're all the same. It just depends on the day or the night. Who's lucky, who makes a free throw, who doesn't get called for a foul. So I'm very, very proud of the Mount. I'm part of the Mount tradition. You know, I won a lot of games. I had a lot of joy, a lot of excitement in a Mount St. Mary's basketball uniform, but at the same time, I had a lot of losses and a lot of tears, and I had several injuries. And so I know the great victories, and I know the terrible sadness of a loss. So again, I'm very excited because I'm a part of the Mount community. I'm a part of it, just not tonight. I'm a part of it.